Hey y'all, so I am back to you guys with a video. This hairstylist is going to speak on why she stopped doing hair and what she decided to do now. And I thought that this would be a great video to bring to you guys because you guys know that a lot of the time when I have these conversations, we're having these conversations as a means to bridge the gap between clients and stylists or clients and service providers so that we can understand and be a little more, I want to say, I guess, considerate of each other's situations or plights or points of views or what have you, right? So, um, excuse me. She's going to get into why she quit the industry and her experience and what she's doing now. And per usual, I'll leave my commentary as, as need be.
It appears to me that there are a lot of hairstylists thinking about leaving the field, and I think it's my time to shine and speak on it because I did the thing. I did hair for like 6 years. Not like 6 years. I did hair for 6 years, and it was a lot. It pushed me to a point mentally that I did not. I mean, I don't even like to say it like this. Maybe trigger warning. If you struggle with mental health, maybe you might not want to hear this, but I mean, it pushed me to a point that I didn't know if I was gonna come back from. Like, and I'm being very serious. And I know it's like, God, like a job can hit you like that. A job can hit you like that, especially doing hair. Now, I think no matter, oh my God, speaking of hair, my hair is driving me nuts right now. But I just feel that, especially, honestly, no matter how you do hair, whether it's your commission, whether you booth rent, whether you own an entire salon, it is seriously the most taxing thing physically. Not like physically, because you're standing up, almost no lunch break. I mean, I think all hairstylists can agree. You pretty much are standing for like 8 hours, maybe even like 12. For you're literally just standing there. You're exhausted. You got your arms up like this. That's really hard on the body. You're not eating. You're barely peeing. Okay, and then that's not even to get into the part with the clients, which we'll get to in a second. The chemicals. I mean, I went from hairstylist, like hair always done, full face and makeup, everything, to I literally don't even wash my hair now, and I'm a holistic girly. It is insane the transformation I have gone down. But like the chemicals that we're breathing in all day are harmful to our health, but we just do it anyway because that's our career. That's the hustle and bustle. What else are we gonna do? And then come here. The clients. The clients. Now, I had a bunch of amazing clients. I did. Actually, I would go as far as saying 99% of my clients was amazing. And it sucks that 1% of that was part of the reason I had to go on and leave. Too much. Love the good ones so much, and honestly, I feel certain that none of my good clients are going to watch this and feel that I was talking about them. But if you're that lady who got mad at me and because of the sun, because of how the sun hit your hair, it's you. It's you. You part of the problem. I'm sorry. I ain't afraid to say it. She literally, I was like, girl, what do you want me to do? Climb up on my sun-sized ladder and turn the sun off for you? All beside the point. Anyway, the clients are hard. It is literally, depending on who you're talking to, I mean, this is like borderline emotional abuse.
Okay, she talks really fast. I thought I was talking fast. She talks fast. I will say this. So let me back up. Um, she was speaking on like the not using the bathroom or, working, 12 hours days, 10 and 12-hour days, sometimes not eating. I will say that that is something that we have to hold ourselves accountable for, because it is something that we definitely do to ourselves. Excuse me. I just had lunch. um, it's something that we do to ourselves. We make our own schedules unless you work in a salon where you're on the payroll and then they make your schedule. But even then, you still have to be scheduled breaks and like that, things like that in between. Um, I don't expect clients to sit through an entire service and not have to use the restroom or not want a snack. I actually provide snacks and beverages. I think that we have to give ourselves that same love. Yes, we all do great work, but we obviously would do much better work if we had better nutrition, right? So, one of the things that I make it a point to do. So like even like while I'm sitting here, I have my water here or what have you. No matter what I'm doing, I try to stay hydrated. If I have to go to the bathroom, my clients are not upset with me for having to go to the bathroom. if I had a client that was upset with me for having to go to the bathroom, then it's probably not the client for me. Because if you think that I have had 3 children, baby, this bladder is not finna hold all of that for you. But I really think that we have to be a lot more accountable with the fact that we have put ourselves in a situation where we kind of self punish in that, right? Like, if you're braiding hair for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, even if your client never gets up to go to the bathroom, you're definitely allowed to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't see how that would become a problem. Like, yes, we do. Like I said, we do have some clients that are just ridiculous, but you just, you block them and you never deal with them again. Also, when she spoke on it, she said that it's borderline emotional abuse. I absolutely believe that, but I don't think that it's any different than any other customer service position. For someone like myself, I was in the job market before I decided to, do hair full time. And I will say, as much as I hated all of the jobs I've ever worked, they definitely prepared me for this now. I would take this over working under or for somebody. Now, if I had to do so to provide for my family, I would, but this to me is so much better than that. Another thing is, unless you're working at like a supercuts or something, and you can still you can still refuse service there, you don't have to put up with this behavior. I know that, like, we want, you feel like, okay, this is all on me, and I'm, I'm my source of income, right? So I need to take these people coming in because this is money. But you do have the right to refuse service. If someone is being abusive to you, if someone is making you uncomfortable, if someone is making everything a problem, you don't have to deal with them. Now, if you're in like maybe a sweet situation, or you really do feel like this is going to cause me physical harm, because we've all been in those situations, unfortunately, you feel like, okay, this is going to cause me physical harm if I take this person, then, if I don't take this person, then you service them, and then you just never deal with them again. And then what you do is, when they reach out to you to book another appointment, that's when you let them know, like, hey, after our last appointment, I think that it'd be best if we just sever our client stylist relationship here. Some of them will ask you what happened, what did I do to make you feel uncomfortable? And then you can give them the floor and let them know. Even if they go out with a bang, whatever it is, like, you're not forced to deal with this person. So I definitely can attest to that. We've all dealt with it in some capacity, but it's any customer service job or any job where you're dealing with the public in any capacity. We've all dealt with that in some way, shape, or form.
Furthermore, if you own the business and like somebody, even if you did the hair perfectly, even if it looks exactly like the photo, if they personally don't like it for some whatever reason, they're like tapping their foot waiting on their money back. And you're over there like, well, I just literally spent that on my groceries to feed my family. What do I do? Oh, and then the product cost. This did not turn into the video I thought it was
I
going to be.
love her accent.
But if you were a hairstylist and you're thinking about quitting, I think you should. We will get to that shortly, because I'm so happy now. But yeah, the product cost is through the roof. People are always upset because you charge too much, but it's like, dude, I'm literally making like $20 off of this after you factor in all the product cost. And it's been 2.5 years since I did hair. I'd probably, honestly, looking at the prices right now, if I walked into that store, if I walked into Salon Centric, I'd probably fall out to see how expensive it's done gotten. Okay? So it's just, oh my God. And then we haven't even gotten, this is a big rant. I didn't think that this was like still traumatizing me, but I guess it is. I was so traumatized when I quit. I actually unfollowed every single hair page that I followed simply because I couldn't even look at it anymore. I changed my entire phone number because I was tired of being assaulted in my messages. Yeah. Oh, baby. I can't even remember what we were saying. But essentially, it's a lot. You work around the clock. You literally work around the clock. If you're not physically standing there doing the hair, congratulations, you're quite literally working everywhere you are because your phone's getting ding, 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 ding. What's the process for this? How much is this going to cost? Oh, I hate my hair. Oh, I love my hair. Oh, can you do this for me? Oh, can we do it this way next time? Oh, can you book me for next Wednesday? You're booking appointments. You're texting people back. And that's not even getting into the fact that you then, after you've done the hair for 12 hours with no lunch break, no pee break, after you've answered all the text messages, now you got to go promote yourself. Now you got to go promote yourself. Now you got to be a social media goddess, social media queen on top of all of that. It's not enough to just do the hair good. Now personally for me, Luckily for me, my favorite part of doing hair was not even doing the hair at all. It was the social media aspect, which is why what I do now, because I've had a lot of people say, well, like a lot of former hairstylists, the problem is when they're ready to leave, they don't know what to go do. You're used to that daily money. You're used
Yeah.
to the way the financials work, and that's scary. That was my biggest thing. That's what kept me in it for so long. It ain't worth it. Stop selling your happiness. So what I do now is social media, and I love it. I also own a tea company, which is totally left field because I back then I didn't even drink tea, and now I'm like all holistic. Like I said, I don't even shampoo my hair anymore. At all. I literally use that herbal hair rinse. That's how out of the hair industry I am. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like it's hard to even see what could be on the other side. And I don't even know what this point of this video is even supposed to be. I guess maybe an update, a little bit of a rant so that you feel more seen. But it's been about 2 years for me, maybe longer, maybe less. I honestly cannot. Doing hair feels like a fever dream to me, truly. It's the best thing I've ever done for myself. My health is amazing now. I think it's important to start there. I've not seen very many people talk about that. My health is top tier. I I feel like the chemicals I was breathing in daily, I didn't think about it while I was doing it because that was unfortunately the least of my problems while doing hair was my health. My health is amazing. I'm not breathing in those chemicals anymore. I'm eating on a regular schedule. Everything is so good in that department. Money wise, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Well, actually, I think if anyone watching drinks tea, please shop my herbal tea business. Support your girl. My tea business is really beginning to go places. We've just gotten 2 stores. Like it's beautiful and I love it. It's so relaxing and it has a big meaning to me. But the thing is, it's like money wise, right out the jump, I went and decided to be a server because it was similar in the way that I was used to talking to people, daily money. It was that type of thing. And I recommend that wholeheartedly. Go serve, go bartend, go be free. You're going to feel amazing. I'm not saying serving and bartending's easy. It's not. But what it isn't is being verbally assaulted by people because of the work you're putting out, because of something that you're proud of, your creativity. It's not someone then crapping all over it. You know what I mean? It's not the stress of having to respond to the messages, to do all this, that, and the third. It's literally clocking in and clocking out. So I enjoyed serving as my transitional job, okay? But, there are options. Truthfully, when it comes from doing hair and you're like, well, what do I do next? Anything. You have to get out of doing hair to even almost figure out what you want to do next, because you don't even know who you are anymore. And I know this is turning into a motivational speech kind of, but when you do hair, and I think any hairstylist will agree, you lose yourself. There is no you. It is okay. If it was me, it's not Cece, it's Cece the hairstylist. It's you feel that way at every family function. Everyone's asking you about hair. Mm-hmm. You feel that way in your friend groups. You feel that way when you're out and about, like you want to advertise. Like you don't even know what you look. You spend all your free time researching new techniques. You don't know who you are anymore once you do hair. At least that was my experience. So I literally had to get out of it before I could even almost begin to think about what to do next. It took me a year or so to find myself. Hold on a second. Like, truth be told, if somebody would have looked me dead in the face while I was still doing hair and said, you're going to be a tarot reader, spiritual coach, and own an herbal tea business, I would have looked at them like they was plumb crazy. I didn't even know what tarot was back then. That's the thing. I legitimately, not only did I leave the job, but I had a spiritual awakening as well. And that's all beside the point. But, like, that's the thing. It's like, you don't know what you're going to go into next, but I just want to encourage you to make the jump. And I guess maybe I'm the queen of quit your job. I don't know. But I just think somebody needs to hear this, because I posted a lot about doing hair like years ago, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Lincoln, chill for a second, baby. I posted about that a long time ago, and I'm now seeing more people interact with it. So it's showing me that people, when I posted it, maybe they wouldn't think about leaving, but now people are. So the hair industry, I'm not sure what's going on there, but anyway, I got to go tend to the babies. I love y'all. Comment any questions you may have. I love talking about this, clearly, because this is a 10-minute long video. Anyway, follow me for more. I love you. Have a great day. Bye.
Okay, so I definitely can empathize with a lot of what she's talking about. I will say this. When you make your passion your business, is when things get difficult, because we tend to, like how she was talking about, this is your baby. This creativity is like your thing, right? This is art that I created. And so if you don't like my art, then it makes you've shitted on my art, right? It makes me feel like, what did I do this for? So I can totally understand that, and I can totally, agree and empathize with that. And all of this, I will say, and this is coming from personal experience, once you set boundaries around your business, it's not so overwhelming anymore. So she spoke on, like when you clock out, pretty much, you haven't fully clocked out because you have to answer phone calls or you have to answer text messages, or people are reaching out to you about scheduling, things like that, right? So I would say that the thing around that is the best thing that I could have did for myself was get a business phone. Before I could afford to pay two phone bills, I just had a text-free line. And the text-free line did the same thing. And I actually appreciated the text-free line because what I could do is, if my phone was off or whatever was going on, or let's say I was having issues with my phone, I could log into my text-free from anywhere and be able to message and speak to clients, as needed. Another thing that I liked with text free was text free gave you the option to have an away message. And so I had my away messages scheduled for business hours. And so what I would do is, let's say that, okay, my hours are 11 to 7 for argument's sake, right? The away message would say, "Hi, you've reached me outside of business hours. If you've received this message, I will get back to you, within those hours," or whatever the case is. And I did that because I ran into a lot of clients that would text me, and if I didn't respond as quickly as they wanted me to, then they would think that I was ignoring them, and possibly because of their PTSD from other people, right? So, that's one thing. Get you a business phone. That is the quickest way to create a boundary, because now you don't have to worry about the phone constantly going off. Some people will put the phone on D&D. Some people will turn it off. I have an iPhone, so it'll just let you know that, between certain hours, those notifications are silenced and clients get the gist. What's another thing that she spoke on? She spoke on, like, you lose your identity. Once again, I can definitely empathize with that, and I do believe that that is another thing where you have to set the boundary. So, for instance, yes, of course, I'm the cousin that does hair. I'm the daughter that does hair. I'm Upayislaycollabs, right? I had to set the boundary, and when I go to functions or I go to family things, or even when I'm outside, like I'm outside, I could be at something with like my husband's family, and they be like, "Oh yeah, she do hair whoop," and it's become like a going joke where, like, for instance, like one of Nick's best friends' aunties, like when they have like a family gathering or whatever, and people want to talk about hair, she'd be like, "Oh, she is not you pay Islay today. She is Tay. If you want to talk about hair, you need to click the link in the bio." But it cracks me up because I very sweetly would just say, like, "Hey friend, so I'm here with you. I'm trying to get drunk. I don't want to talk about hair. I talk about hair all day." And I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do, but it does get draining. You don't want to just be, I'm not you pay I slay. I'm Tay. I have a name. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with family. So like if my mother calls me and my mom's like, "I was thinking about whoop," and I'd be like, "Mommy, with all due respect, I don't want to talk about hair right now." You're allowed to do that. Set the boundary. I feel like a lot of our gripes and grievances with our industry personally, our personal gripes and grievances, is literally just because we haven't set any boundaries for ourselves. And a lot of the time we're afraid to because we feel like, oh, I'm going to lose clients, or oh, people are going to think I'm unprofessional. Okay, well, those people are not your people anyway. Um, what else? I think that was pretty much like, all of what she spoke about. Oh, the not the where you can't, she said that you can't see past hair. I definitely feel like I'm in that space. I feel like I've been in that space for a very long time. But the thing that makes it hard for me is because hair is not all I know, but it's been the most consistent thing in my life, if that makes sense. It's been the most consistent passion that I've had. So I always tell people, for me, hair is like playing with Barbies. For me, like, hair is literally like, oh, my Barbies talk back now. And I have gotten to a place in my career where I genuinely, sorry y'all, where I genuinely enjoy my clients. But I've also, like I said, this goes back to the setting boundaries. I don't deal with anybody that makes me uncomfortable. Like, I can deal with the particular client, but if your energy is just horrible, or you're just really like a nasty person, I don't have to deal with you. Those of you guys that know, like y'all know that I made a decision 2 years ago to work from home. Y'all, that did so much for my mental health alone. Sometimes these salon environments are toxic, and I've worked in a few. Um, there it's just it becomes catty. I worked in a barber shop, and I enjoyed the clients, but I could not stand the owner. He was very feminine. And I'm not talking about gay feminine. I'm talking about like everything was like this weird ass competition with him. And then when I got out of that place, I realized it was him. He was the problem. So I think with everything, like with any business that you run, don't feel guilty about taking breaks. If you need to take a step away, do that. I told you guys in another video, like my biggest thing for me right now is when I need a break, I allow myself a break. If I have an off day, instead of me trying to fill that day because of the money, I'm going to allow myself the off day. And truth be told, if we manage it better, we won't be trying to chase it so much. You know what I mean? So, I think the last thing that I want to bring up that she didn't speak on it in here, but it's in plenty other videos, but that idea of like people trying to tell us what we're worth. You don't have to listen to that. And a lot of the time they're trying to tell us what we should and shouldn't be charging because of a negative experience that they had with somebody else. Because if you've gone to somebody and you've had a great experience, but maybe she's just not available, and then they come to you and they have a similar or better experience, they're going to feel like whatever you're charging them is worth that. Like, it's so funny because when my clients, when we finish up the service, we've been chatting and having such a good time that it's like by the time they go to pay me, it's like, oh shit, I got to pay her. It doesn't feel like it's like a business transaction. I always say one of the things I love about what I do and the I'm looking at my station over there, but the environment that I've created for my clients is that this is a safe space. Like this is really why we like these are my homegirls, right? Like I want you, especially as women of color, you go outside in the rest of the world, they feel however they feel about us, especially in this climate. You're supposed to feel safe here. I want you to feel welcome here. I want you to feel like I want you here because I do. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I think that we have to sometimes think beyond hair. We are dealing with other human beings. And when they leave your chair, they have to go back to whatever life is for them. And there's so many clients that they need that. Like, we don't really think about sometimes how we feed in our clients' spirits and like what a simple, hairstyle or a wash or just say, hey, girl, I understand you does for the rest of their week, And this is why I like to have these conversations because I think that that's lost on us on both sides. And I think that this is why there's people that are now like, oh, I miss the old school salon experience. And it's like you don't miss the logistics of that experience. You just miss the community. And I think that's what a lot of I think that's what all of us genuinely are trying to get back to. But we've kind of lost our way about it. And then it's easier to be defensive than to look and say, okay, as a stylist or as a client, what part do I play in this equation? So that is all I have for you guys today. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Etc. etc. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.